Lucy and Thornton Blackburn. They were enslaved newlyweds that were able to flee Louisville and then went on to Indiana, Cincinnati, and then eventually settled briefly in Detroit, where eventually they were captured and arrested by Kentucky slave hunters. Ruthie, with the help of friends, was eventually able to escape to Canada, and she went on to change her name to Lucy to celebrate her freedom. The day before Thornton was set to be returned to Kentucky, Black folks in the community of Detroit rose up in protest. And in the midst of that commotion, and with the help of community, Thornton was able to escape to Canada and reunite with his wife. And the commotion that turned into a 2-day rebellion was the first racial conflict of that kind in Detroit. This eventually gave way to the first riot commission that was formed in the U.S. And I know historians use the term riot, but I have a hard time using that term when the purpose of this action was to give this beautiful couple an opportunity to escape the horrors of slavery and to be free and to be in love and to thrive. The Kentucky legislature continued to fight for the extradition of Lucy and Thornton, but fortunately, Canada remained steadfast in their refusal to extradite fugitives until slavery ended in the United States in 1865. This decision solidified Canada as a safe ending point in the Underground Railroad. And then, of course, as the mayor mentioned, the Blackburns went on to be successful entrepreneurs, where they remained civically engaged and then also helped others on their journey to freedom. And this extraordinary story of love, resilience, and righteous resistance in the face of so much injustice should be told in Louisville and across the world. And there are countless other stories that my office is committed to help uncover so that we can continue to address head-on the ongoing effects of slavery and the pain that exists still today, with the purpose and charge that we move forward and never backwards. And so again, on behalf of the Office of Equity, I would like to commend Anna and Helen and wish you much success on your film, just because, especially in this day and age where there's a particular attack on history and efforts to ban and to silence history, we need more truth tellers. And I'm so thankful that these beautiful ladies have made a commitment to do that. I would encourage you all to continue to follow the Office of Equity, where we will continue to do more work like this, especially with our Juneteenth Jubilee Commission, where we will soon be releasing our upcoming slate of events that is focused on acknowledging the historical significance of that day and all that we have achieved and yet to accomplish. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Joy, and we're excited to see the film when it comes out. Really looking forward to it as part of this great new tradition and new industry that we're building here in Louisville, very fitting across the street from the Louisville Gardens, which will soon become a wonderful world-class production studio. So congratulations and thank you all very much. And finally today, is if Nikita is here, please come on. Thank you guys. Last night, thanks. Finally today, we are also celebrating another Louisvillian, as we do every week, that is doing some really good work in our community. Nikita Tilford is a master nail artist who is sharing her talents and empowering others to see a successful career. Through the Red Print Nail Academy, which Nikita founded, she is educating other future nail artists while also providing nail services. What a positive impact she's making for others. And I know others are taking notice too, as you recently received some great funding from a name that I think we all know, Beyonce. Nikita, thank you so much for helping others succeed and for making a difference throughout Louisville. I'm proud to present with you today a proclamation as a distinguished citizen of our city for the impact and work you're making and the help that you're giving to others for their careers as well. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor Greenberg. I just want to correct. So Beyonce gave me the opportunity to go in a cohort where I was able to get a grant for my business and apply it to the school that is upcoming, which is the Red Prandella Academy. I just want to say thank you to Mayor Greenberg for all the work that you're doing in the city. It's amazing, and I look forward to more.
Thank you so much. Thank you all so much. As you all can tell, there's a lot going on across the city, a lot that we just celebrated, a lot more exciting events coming up, and many more things in the works. So thank you, Nikita. Congratulations. And with that, that concludes the formal part of our presentations today at our weekly press conference. I'm now happy to take any questions that the media might have.
Mayor, you often said you want the police department to be the most transparent in the nation. I was hoping you could just tell us a little bit about how you define transparency with the police department. Where do you draw the line from what they should disclose to what they should keep secret?
Well, I think transparency is critically important. It's important to rebuild trust between LMPD and our entire community. And so that's why we've taken steps towards improved transparency in my administration already. For example, we signed a memorandum of understanding with the Office of Inspector General to have better facilitation of information and body cam footage. When there's an officer involved shooting, we now release that footage within 10 business days. And we have taken a very significant step forward also with combining our open records department with LMPD's. Previously, that was 2 departments. It's now 1. We're working to catch up on the backlog and get information out quicker. So we think it's important to be very candid with the community about what is going on. We're trying to keep the community up to date as much as possible on the consent decree negotiations. As you know, the United States Department of Justice has asked us to keep that confidential, but they're still having community meetings so they can hear from the community as well. And to me, it's just part of the effort about how we rebuild trust and strengthen relationships between the community and LMPD.
So you said you made a line-by-line review of the budget this year. Did you come across a cell phone data extraction tool that LMPD uses called Gray Key? And if so, could you tell me what you learned about that, what you asked about that, and what you thought about that tool?
Well, I'm not familiar with that specific tool that you're referring to. However, if you're talking about LMPD getting data from cell phones to solve crimes, particularly violent crimes, I think that's critically important. There is a ton of information that we could get off of cell phones from individuals that are committing violent crimes. And I support LMPD's right to lawfully use that to get that information. I know from firsthand experiences that there is a lot of information to solve violent crimes that are on individual cell phones.
What about nonviolent crimes?
Depending on the crime, I think that could be very appropriate as well. If we can lawfully obtain information from people's cell phones, then I think we should do that. We need to resolve crimes to make our city safer. And we will use every legal method that we can to resolve crimes to ensure that Louisville is safe.
And so should LMPD disclose their use of that tool and how often they use that tool?
Well, I can't comment specifically on that, but I'd be happy to follow up after a conversation with the chief about that specific tool.
One more question. So in your line-by-line review of the budget, you didn't see this line item on there?
I am aware that we gather information from cell phones to resolve crimes. Next question.
Did you see the item on the budget? Did you question the cost of it, or did you question it all? Did you see it on your review?
I did not question the cost of it.
Did you see it on the review, though? I guess that's the question to ask. You saw it, though, right?
I'm aware that we have tools that exist that do this purpose, and I will happy to talk further about it in another time when I have more information about the specific nature of that tool.
Are there any other laws around that you looked at?
I think there definitely is opportunity, whether it's exactly for a microforest or to improve the parks. That's yet to be seen, but there are a lot of parks like this that we could use a lot more greening of. The Belvedere, of course, is the biggest example, but there's other pocket parks. There's one directly across the street from the new LMPD police headquarters, just south of the federal buildings. There's plenty of parks with too much concrete, not enough green, that I'd love to improve over time to help revitalize downtown Louisville.
Mayor, a couple weeks ago when you proposed the budget, since then some council members say they believe they find concerning. They brought up concerns in economic slowdown, and also that capital spending, makes them worried about raising taxes or cutting positions. What response do you have to members who are concerned about the operating?
I'm incredibly optimistic about the future of our city. We have so much great momentum that we've talked about a little bit today, that we're talking about regularly with economic activity that's going on, record levels of investment. I'm confident that Louisville will continue to grow. We need to invest in the people who work for Louisville Metro government. There have been decades of disinvestment in parts of our community, and there have been decades of disinvestment in the people who provide the basic government services that our city expects. Everything from public safety, first responders, parks and libraries, Louisville Metro Animal Services, electricians, and the list goes on and on. So to me, our first priority is to take care of the folks that deliver those services. So we are investing in those first. If our economic situation changes over time, then of course cuts will need to be made, but those can be made from other areas of the budget. They shouldn't be made on the backs of the hardworking over 5,000 men and women who make up Louisville Metro government that are providing services.
One more question. Feel good?
Before the rain or lightning? I guess John was right. All right, well, be safe, Louisville. Be safe, everybody. Sign up for Lens Alert, and thank you all very much.